Mr. Speaker, and I rise today once again in support of motion M-152 to designate the month of June as Filipino Heritage Month. As I initially indicated, Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank my good friend and colleague from Scarborough Centre for bringing forward this important motion. As you know, the Filipino Canadians are the third largest Asian Canadian group in our country. The 2016 Canadian census says that over 837,000 people of Filipino descent live in Canada, and it's expected to hit 1 million in a few years. The same data tells us that Tagalog is the fastest growing language in Canada. Based on a study conducted from 2011 to 2016, the use of Tagalog has increased by a staggering 35%. The Filipino community has embraced Canada, and Canada has and will continue to welcome their heritage, culture, and contributions, and therefore, as a government, I'm pleased to support this motion. And before I get to the substantive areas of my comments, I just want to acknowledge the enormous Filipino community that's in Scarborough that work very hard. I know I have a very significant population. Just recently, the Filipino Center of Toronto moved from downtown Toronto to Scarborough in Scarborough North, in fact, in my good friend Scarborough North MP's riding. And the Filipino, Coro Filipino is a choir group that regularly goes to St. Joseph's, and I often go there for Christmas. Their Christmas Mass is one of the things that I look forward to during that season, as well as Seniors in Action, who represent a very vibrant senior population of Filipino Canadians who have, in their retirement, in their twilight years, dance away many evenings throughout the year. St. Joseph's Church is one that is located in my riding. It's the only Catholic church that's in my riding, and I know routinely we have monthly Filipino masses, and it's one that I often attend, and especially during holidays. And of course, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate my good friend Gary Tanon, who's just been re-elected as the local Catholic School Board trustee. This is the type of vibrancy that exists in my community of Scarborough Rouge Park and in Scarborough generally with respect to the Filipino Canadian community. But this is not unique to just Scarborough, Mr. Speaker. It is a community that is vibrant and strong in many parts of this country. I know my good friend from Winnipeg North routinely talks about the successes, as do many other of our colleagues. So just want to give you some perspective. June is an important month in Philippine history and culture. It is Independence Day, which takes place on June the 12th, and it's an annual celebration that's celebrated not just in the Philippines but around the world for essentially independence of Philippines from Spain in 1898. Recognizing June as Filipino Heritage Month speaks to the historic and cultural significance of this month to this vibrant community. Mr. Speaker, Canadians of Filipino heritage have contributed in many invaluable ways to the fabric of our society. Many Filipino Canadians have received international recognition for their work and established themselves as leaders and trendsetters in their fields. They continue to leave an indelible mark on our diverse fabric in every aspect of our lives, strengthening Canada in this process. Filipino Canadians have attained notable political stature in Canada and are tireless champions for multiculturalism and advocates for the most vulnerable members of our society. The Honorable Ray Pagtacan made history by being the first Filipino Canadian to be elected to Parliament in 1988. He won his seat in the House of Commons from the riding of Winnipeg North. Mr. Pagtacan served as a parliamentary secretary to Prime Minister Jean Chrétien from 1996 to 1998 and was the first Filipino Canadian appointed to cabinet when he took on the role of Secretary of State in 2001. In 2017, he was invested as a member of the Order of Manitoba. As an anti-racism champion, he was given an award in September of 2018 by the Canadian Race Relations Foundations. And incidentally, Madam Speaker, today is the 25th anniversary of the election of Prime Minister chrétien, if I just want to digress for a moment. Filipino Canadians are very prominent in Canadian film, television, radio, broadcasting, newspapers, and magazines. They're active in their communities, whether it be helping newcomers through the Multicultural Helping House Society in Vancouver, or organizing festivals like the Taste of Manila, Manitoba Street Festival, and Fiesta Calgary. They're business owners and add invaluable diversity to our multicultural country. Madam Speaker, the Filipino community has given Canada so much. Their hard work and dedication has a vast impact on cultural heritage and is often overlooked. One of the interesting statistics about Filipino Canadians, Madam Speaker, is in fact there are more women of Filipino heritage than men. This is in part due to the immigration patterns, where oftentimes many women have undertaken journeys to Canada to work in precarious employment situations where their labor essentially is used in many parts of our country to support Canadians, be it through the healthcare system or through assistance with children or seniors. It is enormously difficult situations. Oftentimes, people are separated from their families for many, many years. And I know the hard work of many of these mothers particularly, and I want to thank them for their sacrifice, and these women who've worked so hard to build a life for themselves and their families. It is that bold and difficult journey that has really bolstered the community to these numbers that we see today, and the contributions that they make throughout our country. I want to give you an example, Madam Speaker. Mikey Bostos is a vlogger, actor, and author, and is a popular YouTuber with over 375 million views on his channels. His popularity has won him prizes and accolades. In addition, he was a finalist in the Canadian Idol. There are examples like Martina Ortiz Lewis, a prominent young singer of Filipino heritage. She was here at Parliament Hill for the singing of O Canada in this past year. Maria Aragon is a prominent singer of Filipino descent. Born in Winnipeg, Manitoba, her rendition of Born This Way by Lady Gaga went viral and reached over 11 million views this week. Her cover also garnered her performance with Lady Gaga herself in 2011. This designation of June as Filipino Heritage Month enables all Canadians an opportunity to reflect, celebrate, and appreciate the history, heritage, and important contributions of the Filipino Canadian community, and to celebrate their successes. Our multicultural heritage is about more than just a commitment to welcoming diverse people from around the world. It is a commitment to principles of equality and freedom, grounded on human rights and enshrined in our laws and the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The contributions of Filipino Canadians are vital to our social, economic, and political fabric. Today, we have an opportunity to acknowledge the critical role Filipino Canadians have in Canada's rich cultural fabric as a country, and an opportunity to recognize that their contributions to Canada are appreciated and valued. So I'd like to thank once again my good friend from Scarborough Centre for bringing forward this motion and reiterate our support for making each June Filipino Heritage Month. Thank you, Madam Speaker.